Hey everyone, did you know that 1 billion hours of videos are uploaded every day on YouTube? And 400 hours of video are uploaded every minute. And out of all those videos, like 70% is actually coming from mobile phones. So that should just give you some idea of the kind of statistics that are happening on YouTube. But I think the one great thing about YouTube is that once you have your content out there, then because it's a search engine or one of the largest search engines, it can be working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year after year. And then if you're lucky, you can also get traffic from Google as well. So you got two of the largest search engines on the net that can drive traffic to your videos. So the big question is, how can you get your videos seen in 2019? So some things have changed, and YouTube has now moved over from the classic view to the, well, not completely, but to the YouTube Studio Beta. So you got some better statistics, and so you can make some better decisions about your videos. So in this video or this live stream, if you're watching the replay, is all about how to get your videos seen on YouTube this year being 2019. So my name is Herman Drost. If you haven't met me before, my channel is all about how to grow your audience on YouTube so you can generate traffic, leads, and sales on autopilot day after day, year after year, as long as your videos are on your channel. So I want to welcome everybody here. We've got Dad Dapperman, good to see you. Chris MG, Sam Dill, Clifford Starks. Oh, good to see you, Clifford. And Harley, good to see you, Harley. And John, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's afternoon over here. And Vancouver, I guess it's evening. And we've got Crack, Mr. VO Funny, Continental Kitchen. So yeah, welcome everyone. So what I'm going to be discussing today is just going to look at my top 7 tips to get your videos seen in 2019. And I know that everybody that has a YouTube channel, to create a video takes a lot of time. So when you make that video go live, you want it to be seen by as many people as possible. But you first have to kind of do the building blocks first. So one of those building blocks is you have to kind of, and this will be step 1, is to appeal to the right audience. So you need a target audience that wants to watch your videos. So one way to do that is by surveying your audience. You can go to forums, groups, etc. And so the whole idea is that instead of trying to appeal to everyone, and if you're just starting out on a niche, you kind of want to, like, say if you're in the cooking niche, for instance, then you want to kind of niche down to a more specific niche. So maybe how to bake chocolate chip cookies, that are gluten-free or something like that. So something, kind of more specific. And if you get a more specific audience, then it's easier to rank for those videos. So if you want to get your videos seen on YouTube, the best way, of course, is that they rank in search. YouTube promotes them and YouTube suggested videos. They appear in Google search. So we're going to look at some of these sort of some kind of foundations of that. So one is to know your target audience. And I would say kind of like you get out a piece of paper and then you can say, just looking at go into your statistics, into YouTube analytics, and then you can look at which countries they come from. You can look at the demographics, are they 18 to 35, most of them, or are they younger than that? And then try to identify, maybe from your comments or from the people you meet, through your channel, through your videos, maybe focus on one person that might be 25, 35, has a job, has a family, has a house, or whatever. So the more specific you can get, then you can address that one person specifically, and then that will then be easier to appeal to your ideal audience. Now, for myself, I am my own target audience, so I just try to ask myself, would I want to watch this video? Would I want to watch this content? Would I want to know about that? And lately I've been asking, well, if I create a video, would I want to watch it? And then when I create the video, what are the things I can put in the video that will not stop people watching it? They want to keep watching it. So it's such good content that they cannot help but keep watching it. So one of the hardest things is actually keep people watching all the way through the video. So we're going to address that later. But I think the second thing is keyword research, because if you can do the proper keyword research and find the keyword phrases that your audience is searching for, then you can create videos for that. So you can come up with like 20 different keyword phrases just from the autocomplete suggestions that YouTube gives you. So you just enter a keyword, could be how to cook hamburgers, and then you get a whole bunch of suggestions from the YouTube search box, and then you can just create a list of a whole bunch of topics that you can create videos for, and then research. You can use a tool like TubeBuddy, or you could just do reverse engineering, look at your competition. Maybe there's no videos or just a few videos that were created a year ago or 3 years ago. And so the whole idea with keyword research is that you're trying to find the keyword phrases that you already know that there's a search volume for that keyword phrase. So I use something like Keywords Everywhere, TubeBuddy, the YouTube search browser, Keyword Planner, Google's Keyword Planner. So you can get some idea of the search volume and also some idea of the competition. And TubeBuddy is good because you can quickly see the keyword score. Is this going to be easy? Is this going to be difficult to rank for? So the keyword research, I feel, is really the foundation for a successful video, because if nobody's searching for that particular keyword phrase, then you've wasted a lot of time trying to rank for that video. Then if you can't rank for the video, then you've also wasted your time. So the caveat to that is that sometimes your videos will rank weeks later, months later, or even years later. I just, I have some old videos that were created 3 or 4 years ago, and only now they're beginning to rank and drive most of the traffic to my channel. So it's really a game of patience. So those 3 tools, the YouTube auto suggestion feature that's just entering your keyword phrase in the YouTube search box, TubeBuddy, which is a great free Chrome extension, and if you upgrade to the paid versions, then you can get more features with that. And Keywords Everywhere gives you the search volume for the keyword phrase. So, good to see you, Lindsay. Good to see you here. So, so those are 2 things. And I just the third thing I want to mention was the gear. So a lot of people that may be starting YouTube, I know when I started, and I went with it for a year, I think I started with an iPhone 4, or it might have been iPhone 4S. And then I was just using also, sometimes I went outside, so to, just use the daylight. And then I think I upgraded to iPhone 5. So probably for 3 years, I just used my phone, and I just use a blank wall as a backdrop, and sometimes I go outside. So the best thing is to do is to start with what you have. Could be an iPhone, camera, etc., like that. So I found the cameras these days are so good. I think you've got the 10X or the iPhone 7 or 8. Those have really good cameras on it. But so you can start with that, and then I think lighting is key. So You can get some, a couple of soft boxes, might run you like up to $100, and then a very good microphone. So let's see. I used this one, the Rode SmartLav Plus microphone for my phone, and I can also plug it into my camera. So, and it just, sticks on your shirt or blouse, and off you go. So it has, really good sound. So you don't need fancy gear to get started, and you don't need fancy gear to make great videos. But the key is to have good sound and have good quality video. And then, apart from that is the delivery, and most of all is the content. Because sometimes I go to channels that where the content is so great, but the quality of the video is not so great. But because I'm so thrilled with the content, like after I came back from New Zealand, I got some heel pain, plantar fasciitis, and then I thought, what the heck is that? So I started looking at the kind of stretches and exercise you can do to heal plantar fasciitis. So some videos were not great, but the person knew his stuff. So I was so concerned about getting the good content and then fixing the problem. So gear, then, when as you go along making more videos, you can upgrade to a better camera, better lighting, better backdrop, better microphone, etc. Sam, yes, I just saw that kind of hard. I'll be answering most questions at the end of the presentation, but I saw Sam has a good question there about what mic is good. So here I'm using the Blue Snowball microphone for this live stream. So it's about $50. It's pretty good. You have to get kind of closer to it, and then it sounds even better. But as I mentioned, the Rode SmartLav Plus microphone is great. Just plug it straight into your phone, and it works great. There's cheaper ones too. That I think the Boya microphone, which is like $20 or something. But I'm a firm believer of the Rode SmartLav Plus microphone, so check that one out. The Blue Yeti, I think it's called. It's like maybe $120. Blue Snowball, which I have, is like $50. So that's a couple of choices there. Okay, fourth idea or fourth tip I have is the video structure. So you got your gear, you've done your keyword research, and you've figured out which audience, you got your niche and you got your audience. Now you want to have, if you want your videos to be engaging, then you want to start off with a great hook. Could be a question. Recently I've been kind of teasing at the end, stay tuned to the end of the video, or watch all the way through the video so you can get all the steps you need to translate your videos. Or watch to the end and you'll be able to download my free cheat sheet on how to get more views on YouTube. So, and then another way, a great way, and some of you might have done this, is to show them at the beginning already what to expect in the video. So, say you're baking a cake, say a chocolate cake. Well, at the beginning, you could show the delicious, beautiful, scrumptious chocolate cake that you're about to describe the steps on how to bake it. So then people are already, tuned in about how the cake's going to look before they create it. And so they'll stay tuned throughout the video because you've showed already the finished product or the result at the beginning of the video. So that'll be another way to do it. Let me know in the chat what kind of hook or way that you grab people in the first 10, 5, 10, or 15 seconds on your video. What kind of hook do you use? Do you use Do you tease people at the beginning? Do you ask a question? Do you just go straight into the meat of the content? Or do you first give present your logo or something? What do you folks do to grab the attention of your viewers and then try to hold it all the way through? So when it comes to video structure, generally I do write a script for the video. When I first started on YouTube, I'd write out the whole thing, then memorize each line, and then speak it in front of the camera. But nowadays I generally just write down a few bullet points, and then I'll just kind of go with the flow. And of course, you're going to make a lot of mistakes as you speak in front of the camera, but usually I just let the camera roll, and as I make mistakes, then I can always edit that out afterwards. So in that case, I would say it's best just to let the camera roll and let your presentation flow. And a key thing to keep people engaged throughout the video is to try to interrupt their attention. So it could be transitions, it could be graphics, it could be B-roll, some B-roll you've taken from, might be from Creative Commons videos, or might be some other B-roll you've taken yourself. So you can intersperse that throughout the content. And then you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can add different graphics, transitions, etc. So this kind of resets the attention of the viewer and keeps them engaged. So when you're describing something, you can throw a graphic in there or throw something on the screen that interrupts the attention of the viewer. So the idea is to keep the person engaged throughout the video. If it's like 10-minute video, then you can't just talk all the way through, because they'll tend to get bored. So it's good to kind of mix it up with graphics, with could be some other type of video, etc. So, okay, so Harley's saying that I usually ask a question related to what I'm going to do. So yeah, a question's great because that kind of puts the question in the mind of the viewer, and then they'll be wondering, well, I wonder if he's going to answer this question. So after you've done your hook, your intro, you want to get straight into the meat of the content. Go through your points in your content, and then you end with a strong call to action, which I highly recommend linking to a related video, related playlist in the end card, in the end screen, or in a card during the video. So it could be in the middle of your video. You could also, during your video, you could ask people to subscribe. You could ask them to like the video, ask them, make sure that you put a comment under the video to my question. You could ask a question even in the middle of the video. Sometimes I put a question in the middle, or I put it at the end. So let me ask you a question. How many views are you getting on your videos these days, or whatever? So so the whole idea is to kind of keep the engagement going throughout your video, and then you'll get a longer watch time. So on YouTube, the biggest factors for ranking is the watch time and audience retention. So if you get a long watch time and a high audience retention, so people are watching throughout the video, and then they'll watch another video and another video, then you're improving the watch time. And then also, which I'll talk about later, is the click-through rate of the thumbnail. So if you create a great thumbnail, then you're going to get that first click that will result in them watching your video. So if you don't get that first click, then all that good content's going to go to waste. So so you got your good call to action, and number 5 is delivery. So don't try to sound boring, sound excited. Maybe just like you're talking to a friend, you can put a friend on the other side of the camera, or if and it just takes practice. When I first started on YouTube, I was just kind of reading a script, or a lot of people use like a teleprompter, but I try to do away with those and just try to go naturally. So you don't want to go too fast, you don't want to go too slow. And sometimes, a lot of times, people will, I know I do, will, if it's a 10-minute video, I'll put it on twice the speed so I can still understand, or 1.5 times the speed, so I can still understand what the person's saying, but I get through the video faster. So probably a lot of you do the same. Instead of like normal speed, you do it on 1.5 or twice the speed. Twice the speed. So, so when it comes to delivery, just make sure that you're just not reading from the script. Try to sound natural. If you have a hard time sounding natural, it just takes practice. So what you can do is record a video or even just an audio, and don't publish it, but just practice in front of the camera until you can, come across kind of naturally. So the way that you could think about it is just try to think like you're talking to your best friend, or if you know somebody that's subscribed, just think that you're talking to that particular subscriber. So that way you'll come across more naturally with your presentation. So number 6 is optimizing your video, and that means your thumbnail, title, description, tag. So it starts with a thumbnail, and I have some videos on how to use Canva, but you can use Canva, or there's a new software that I came across recently called Thumbnail Blaster, which you could take a look at that too. But the idea of a thumbnail is that you're going to have great colors, bold colors, simple text, bold text, and also contrasting colors. So don't clutter the thumbnail full of text. Try to do it so that you can, so it'll be easy to see on a small screen. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, 70% of your audience is watching your videos through mobile phones, so on the mobile. So therefore, it makes sense to check your thumbnails at a small screen size, and then ideally, and this is what you can do in the TubeBuddy Legend option, which is a paid upgrade. You can actually split test a thumbnail. You can also do that with this new software called Thumbnail Blaster. Let me show you quickly what that looks like. So I'm going to do a quick screen share this Thumbnail Blaster so you can take a quick look at that. Let's see here. Just bear with me. Okay, so this is software called Thumbnail Blaster. I'll put a link in the, let's see if I got a link for it. You can check out the sales page for it here. I can put it in the chat. But anyway, here is Thumbnail Blaster. Some of the kind of thumbnails you can create with it. And the good thing about Thumbnail Blaster, if you purchase it, then you can also split test the thumbnails. So here's some of the different thumbnails. And if I go to the top of the page, then you can just check out that sales page there. But basically, it's an online software. So they got some different test minis, and basically you can split test the thumbnails. You can got different ones you can try. And then if I go over here, let's see, this is actually inside the software itself. So, so for instance, here you got, if you click on thumbnail, actually it does link with your YouTube account. So you can put your YouTube account in there and it'll, you can create it from there. So, but from here, I've just got, from YouTube, from your YouTube link. But if I start with no video, then here you've got the template. So here's all the different templates you can use. So if I click use this template here, for instance, then I can just move this text around, these different text. I can do a different image, and then I can just choose that one there. Then down here you've got, you can choose different options. You can bold it, etc. You've got color options. You've got positions, opacity, shadows, strokes, etc. You can also do different gradients. If you want to do a gradient color, so you can do different gradients, and then also different layers. You can flip it, etc., and align it. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing here, but once you've created the thumbnail, then you can save it as a JPEG, save it as a template, etc. So so you can just check out the sales page there yourself. Here's an example of a thumbnail I created recently. Oh, it's not that one, but let's see, it's this one here, I think. Yes, this is a quick thumbnail I created, so that I just showed you quickly what it was, but here's one that I just did within a few minutes. So if you want to create a quick thumbnail, then you could use this thumbnail blaster. You can split test different thumbnails. And then some of the features, let's see. So it's easy to use, drag and drop. I got 30 templates, design elements, published to YouTube. So this is some of the idea, another idea that you can use instead of paying a monthly subscription for Photoshop. I've been using Canva, which is really great too, because you can, it's got some templates in there, and also it's you can create all kinds of graphics, for infographics. You can do ebooks, reports, etc. So yeah, so that's the just quickly looking through some of the questions, if there are any related here. Can you make a thumbnail without 1,000 subs? So Casey's asking from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures. That sounds exciting. I have to check that out. Can you make a thumbnail without 1,000 subs? Yeah, actually, you can upload a custom thumbnail just with a small channel. So when you create a video, then YouTube selects the best kind of screenshot from your video, but you can also create a custom thumbnail. So just as I showed you, you can use Canva, Thumbnail Blaster, etc., and make a thumbnail from that. So go for it. Okay, got another question here. Can you make thumbnails on PS4? I don't have a PS4, so I can't answer that, but maybe if there's somebody in the chat that uses PS4, then feel free to chime in. Okay, so number 6 was optimized. So you're starting with a thumbnail. So if you have a great thumbnail then appears in the search engines, gets clicked on, but also you got to have a great title. So I would say put your main keyword phrase in the title, add some emotional trigger or something that will trigger somebody to click on the thumbnail. So they're going to look at your title, they're going to look at your thumbnail. And the idea is to get a high click-through rate when your video first is published. So if you can get most click-through rates are between, I think YouTube says between 2 and 6% or 2 and 4%. I think it's 2 and 4%. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think between 2 and 4%. So you get 6%, 10%, 13%. That's great. So try to aim for above 4% in click-through rate on your thumbnails. Then for audience retention, that means how long people are keeping engaged on your video. Ideally, you want to get above 50%. So if you can get 60%, 70%, that's great. So if you can get 50% of the people that are watching your video to make it all the way through your video, then there's a high probability that your video is going to be appearing in the suggested videos which appear on the right side of the video watch page. That means that YouTube is promoting your video for free. Otherwise, you want to try to get your videos ranked in search and ideally on the first page of YouTube. So, and I'll talk a little bit about this later, you can also get ranked in Google if you embed your video on a website or several websites. And then, your video can get picked up by Google, and then you'll see that carousel of videos at the top of Google, and one of your thumbnails may appear out of that carousel. And if you get lucky, you can also, and I've got some videos on my channel like that appear that the huge thumbnails, not just a little thumbnail, but like a large thumbnail is at the top of the Google search engine. So that's even better. So, so create a good title. Description and tags are not as important, but you want to make them relevant. So the first 3 lines of your description should kind of summarize the content of your video. And if you have a URL that you want to send people to, put it in those first 3 lines. And then with your tags, just look at all the related keyword phrases that point out your video content. So how to bake a chocolate cake, baked chocolate cake, how to bake a chocolate cake on Sundays. You can put all those related keyword phrases, or how to, instead of bake, you could use something else that, I can't think of anything at the moment. But the idea is you're putting those related keyword phrases in the tags so they're highly relevant to your video. And then that relevancy helps your videos to be ranked. But the top ranking factors are really your thumbnail, your title, and then of course an engaging video and a watch time. So if you get a long watch time, even if you have a short video like 2 minutes, and then you link to a playlist where they're watching another 2-minute video, then another 2-minute video and a playlist, then you'll get like 6 minutes or 10 minutes of watch time from like 4 different videos. So that's great because YouTube wants to keep people on the YouTube platform. And number 7 is to promote your videos. So when you publish a video, that's kind of just the beginning of getting eyeballs on your videos. So, and probably everybody's doing this, is to post your video on your social media sites, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, etc. And then apart from those social media sites, you can also embed it on your website. You can also submit a transcript, get a transcript of your video, and you can convert it to a PDF and submit it to PDF sites. And you can also translate your video. So this past week, I created a few videos on how to translate your videos. So instead of just appealing to the English audience, you can look at your top videos that are on your channel and see which countries, apart from America or apart from England or apart from English speaking countries, where most of your audience is coming from. So maybe it's from India, maybe it's from South America, maybe it's from France. So then get your video translated, create a transcript of your video, of your English video, transcribe it into French, for instance, then upload the transcript to YouTube, and then you can, then people who are watching the video in a French-speaking country where the default language is French, then they can read the subtitles under your video. The captions will all be translated into French. So then you've actually got another audience besides English speakers. So I highly recommend, looking at the videos to get the top traffic on your channel, translate them, identify the countries they're coming from or one top country, and then, upload a transcript of the language of that country. So it could be like 10 countries. It could be Spanish and French and Dutch and German and Hindi, whatever. So you can have transcripts for all those countries. And you might see more traffic coming to that video from other countries. And I had a person a few months ago that got so much traffic from Spanish viewers that she switched the whole channel to Spanish, and a channel took off. So you never know. Let me know in the chat what your top traffic source is for your channel. Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Is it Google search? Is it Instagram? What is your top traffic source? Or, where's most of the traffic coming from? So I'm just going to have a quick look through the questions here. Chris, good to see you, Chris. Has a question here. Let's see if I can get that up. Herman, I figured out the question I asked you and did a video. I'll never forget again. Is it possible to add an intro, outro on a video you've already uploaded? Yeah, you can check. If you mean I don't think you cannot add an intro because the new YouTube video editor it's just a basic video editor, but you can add a different end screen. So if you have an old video, I haven't tried it recently, but you can replace the end screen. Or if you don't have an end screen on your video, then you can add an end screen. So with the new YouTube video editor, you can remove a section. So you can remove the intro. You could remove, if you're being like you're being waffling in the middle of the video, you can remove that section. You can remove the end. You can remove the end, the beginning, the middle. Or you could remove the beginning, middle, and end. So you can remove multiple sections. But yeah, you can add another outro or another end screen, but not for the intro. But you could remove the intro. That'd be one way to do it without downloading it. So this will be for existing videos. So that's what you can do. Okay, just looking at some of the questions here. Okay, Michelle has a question about, I watched one of my fellow YouTube creator videos fully, like 10 to 20 minutes. Does YouTube give the creator credit for each view? Well, yeah, if you're watching it over and over, like say you watch the video all the way through and then you replay the video, then they'll see us. Say you're watching it 20. Say you're watching the video 20 times, then they'll see that peak in the audience retention and watch time on your video. So yes, the creator does get credit for if you're watching it over and over. Casey has a question here about had to leave, but how do you put music besides iMusic? So YouTube does have the YouTube audio library, so you can add music from there. You can swap your music. If you have music on your video, you can swap the music. You can mute the music. So I would just say use YouTube's audio library, and that way you won't get a copyright strike for using somebody else's music. Sergey has a question about, I have a question, I have a history YouTube channel, a video I'm making has a swatch sticker. Is it okay that I post it? That's a good question. I would say it's okay because if you give commentary if you have videos all about history, and of course it's going to include the SWAT sticker, but it's in line with your content, I would say it's okay. But if you just put it out there and nobody knows what it is, but other people that see it get upset, then you're going to get some flack for it. So I would say it's okay as long as you're adding commentary, adding your own angle, giving the story behind it, etc. So it's part of history. Okay, just looking through the questions. Oh, thanks, Chris. Oh, hi, Pale Rider. Good to see you. I just wanted to, I got some bonus tips. I just went through 7 tips of how to get your videos seen. So if you came late, you can watch the replay. But I got some bonus tips that also will drive traffic or attract traffic to your videos. And one of those bonus tips is to check your analytics. So look in your YouTube analytics, YouTube Studio Beta, and look at your top your videos that are getting a top amount of traffic, the most amount of traffic. So, and then double down on those videos. Create more videos along the same lines as the video that's getting a lot of traffic. So if you do that, then you're kind of riding piggyback on a popular video. And the chances are that that video will also do well in the search engine. So recently I saw that one of my videos on how to translate videos did pretty well. Well, it's been doing well for, I think I did it like 2 years ago. So it's got like 75,000 views or something. So I thought, well, it's time to update the video on how to translate videos, because that was kind of YouTube Studio Classic, YouTube Classic, and now everything's moving over to YouTube Studio Beta. So I've been doing, kind of doing a series on translating your videos, going a little bit more in depth. So, so I would say, like, look at your top traffic sources, look at the ones that are getting most subscribers, and do more of those types of videos. And if you want to get more videos, another way to more traffic, another way to do it is to upload more often. So instead of 1 time a week, you do 2 times or 3 times a week, and then you get more traffic. Or you can also do a live stream like I'm doing today that will give you a lot of watch time. So if you're trying to get 4,000 hours of watch time, you can do a live stream every week. And so if you went for an hour and you have, say, like 5 people just on your live stream, that's like 5 hours of watch time that you're getting on your video. So you can quickly build up that watch time. And another way, if you can hop on a trend, and this is kind of difficult to do, but if you find a hot trend in your niche, then quickly create a video that capitalizes on that trend, and that video might take off. And that's a way you can kind of get very fast traffic. It's not evergreen traffic, but you can get a lot of traffic in a very short time. So the good thing about that, if you have one video, say you've been going for like 5 years on YouTube and you're about to throw in the towel, and I think I can't remember which video I watched, but I think it was one of Brian's videos we did with some woman that had talked about she was just about going to throw in the towel, and she said to her staff, well, let's just publish this one video and then I'm going to call it quits. So they published that video, and that video took off, and as a result of that, people watched the other videos on her channel, and so the whole channel erupted, and she got like millions of views. So it just takes one video that takes off that could right away get all the other videos to take off as well. So create, as you're creating your videos, think about a particular trend or something like that. Try a few trends, and then if a video takes off, it might affect all the other videos if you get the traffic from that video. So that's another way to do it. So another way to get seen is to do collaborations with other people in your niche. So when you do a collaboration, you could say like how to bake a chocolate cake. So you bake half and then say, well, watch the rest of the video to find out how to put the icing on the cake. And so then they watch the video of the one person you've collaborated with. And so you're exposing your video to a different audience, and they're exposing their video to your audience. So through that collaboration, you can get your videos seen outside of just your own audience on YouTube. So, and that way, and other ways you can do it is to also be present in Facebook groups, forums, etc. If you have the time. Okay, so Harley's got a feedback on the swastika question. My understanding on the swastika question may be flagged, but you should be able to successfully appeal on a history educational channel. So yeah, if it does get flagged, you can appeal it, and I'm sure that the appeal would go through. And they're pretty quick these days on appeals. And Amir, I don't know how you pronounce that, said, what is the best app for editing video for YouTube and Android? I don't have Android, but I think, I'm trying to think now. I think KineMaster is one. And what's that Lumo, not Luminosity, I think. I can't. Hey, Harley, help me out here. KineMaster is one app that you can use, and I know if you have an iPhone, then the iMovie is great, but I would say go with KineMaster. And there's one called, LumaFusion, that's the one. LumaFusion, try that one too. That's another great app. So if you have any other questions about getting seen, or if you have any further suggestions about how to get your videos seen, then put that in the chat, or if you're watching a replay, put it in the comments. But I would say, another thing is, your channel art, your professional channel art is good, because when people find your channel in the search engines or from a video, and they click on your thumbnail and go to your channel homepage, if it's professional channel banner, professional thumbnails, and you have great sections and that are filled with playlists on your channel homepage, they can dive deeper into your content And if they dive deeper into your content, then it's more likely that those viewers are going to subscribe. And you can also pin a comment to the top of your comments. You know, you could pin a video, you can pin a playlist, you can ask a question, and you know, just engage with people in the comments. And if somebody asks a question, then give them a great answer or point to another video, and they'll be more likely to stay, you know, want to watch another video or subscribe to your channel. So I'm just trying to think if there's any other ways to get your videos seen apart from knocking on your neighbor's doors or going into the mall. But I think the great thing about YouTube is that it's an organic search engine. So if you can get your videos ranked in the search engines, then they're going to get seen. And if they get promoted by YouTube by appearing in the watch page, on the right side of the watch page, and the suggested videos, they're going to get seen. If you get your video ranked in Google search, then they're going to get seen with the video the thumbnail carousels at the top of the page. So you're going to get traffic from both Google search and also YouTube search. And then if you find groups that where you can answer questions, and you can put a video in there as an answer to a question, then by all means do that, but don't spam the group. But you know, try to be helpful is a good way to do it. So, but I think you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you have to find your ideal audience. So you know, build a profile of your ideal client, your ideal viewer, and then you know, try to. And if you're your own target audience, then continually ask yourself, would you watch this video? Would you watch this video all the way to the end? And then the proof of that is in the YouTube analytics, where you're watching your click-through rate, your audience retention, your watch time. And if you can build up those percentages, then your channel will take off. So that's the advice I can give you. So if anybody's not a member of my Facebook group, 2 Video Bootcamp, I'll put a link in here. I think I got a link somewhere. This is where you can get feedback on your thumbnails. You can ask questions. You can interact with other people in the group, etc. So just answer the question when you go to the Facebook group. If you're not a member, then I've got some questions there about what channel you have or what challenges you face, and then I'll kind of enable you to be part of the group. And then if you got any suggestions about future live streams, then pop that into the chat or into the comments, and then we can, you know, have a discussion about that. Or even if you want to get a channel review, I haven't done that for a long time, so we could also look at that. Or if you want me to interview another YouTuber, then I could also do that, and we could have a an interview type discussion during the live. So let me know if any of those suggestions should be pursued, and then we'll go for it. So I think that's all the questions we have. Hey, have a great weekend. Have a great day. Thanks for your comments, for being here, for your suggestions. Hope you have a great day, great weekend, and a great week. We'll see you next time. Take care.